Health Canada says it could be just days away now from approving a COVID-19 vaccine. On Wednesday, the UK was the first Western country to sign off on a vaccine made by the German company BioNTech and the US pharmaceutical giant Pfizer. Canada has ordered 20 million doses of that shot with an option to buy 56 million more. Joining me now is Marett, the Chief Business and Chief Commercial Officer for BioNTech, which discovered and developed that vaccine. He joins me from near Hamburg, Germany. Nice to see you, Mr. Marett.
Good morning.
So obviously I have lots of questions. Canada has a lot of questions about your vaccine, but let's start with the most urgent one, I guess, for Canada. We are told that it will likely be approved here by our regulator within the next 7 to 10 days. I'd be interested to know what you've been told about the approval here.
Yeah, so I mean, we're the marketing authorization holder in Canada, so we're working directly with Health Canada, together with our colleagues at Pfizer in Canada, to bring the approval to Canada as quickly as we can. And certainly from the discussions that we've had, Canada is in a good position to approve the vaccine shortly.
Okay, and once the approval happens, how quickly can the vaccine get into Canada? Because unlike other companies, I know that this contract requires that Pfizer and BioNTech actually distribute the vaccine where it needs to go within the country too.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it'll be the same procedure as we've just done in the United Kingdom, which is that upon approval, we then release the vaccine and then it is shipped. We've already produced vaccine and reserved doses for Canada. So it's really awaiting regulatory approval before we go to the next step.
Is it a matter of days between the approval and the shipping of the vaccine?
So if I use the UK as an example, we got approval at 1 a.m. in the morning. We approved release of the vaccine and shipped it within 24 hours.
Wow. I know that there were a lot of questions earlier or late last week about an announcement that actually came back in November, and this was in relation to a lack of raw product in order to make the vaccine that will impact some countries, the UK and I think the United States, in terms of the amount of doses that they will get. How will that impact Canada? It sounds like you already have a certain amount set aside for us.
Yes. I think that it is true that we have up to 50 million doses to distribute around the world, and what we have done is for each country for which we have a advanced purchase agreement, we have allocated doses for distribution. And that is true of Canada, or as it is for the United States, for Europe, for the United Kingdom, and all the other countries that have signed up with both Pfizer and BioNTech.
Given the huge amount of innovation in this vaccine, the fact that it's never been done before, and that you're having to ramp up production a speed at which no one has ever seen before, how difficult is it for you to then hear politicians give exact dates of when the vaccine will become available, knowing all the things that could happen which may make those dates difficult to meet?
Yeah, so I mean, this is a bit like the biological equivalent of a moon landing. You've got to get everything exactly right, and that includes, of course, timings. These things tend to, from our experience, move around from a few days. But so far, from our experience with one country, the United Kingdom, we've seen things move pretty smoothly.
Everyone's talking about, obviously, the logistical challenges of moving your vaccine because it needs to be stored at so cold a temperature. You can see how that might be easier to do in a smaller country like the United Kingdom versus a large one like Canada. What are the challenges for your company in terms of distribution to a country of this size, or to the United States, for instance?
Yeah, so we have to transport and store at -70, but it's worth saying that -70 is not a new technology. I mean, I used it at university many years ago. I had my own -70 freezer. Many of the big logistics companies transport thousands of packets of material at -70 every day. And in fact, I was just speaking to one this morning who actually own their own dry ice manufacturing to provide for the shipments, which is what keeps the vaccine cool. So I think in terms of transport, it's well mapped out, and we're using existing systems. Together with Pfizer, we've designed a storage box. It's called a shipper, in which the vaccine arrives, and you can use that as a -70 freezer. You can open the box twice a day and take vaccine out as long as you re-ice it for up to 15 days. So there's plenty of opportunity, and we would ship those to the immunization centers.
Have you run into any bumps in the road yet in terms of getting it into the United Kingdom?
No, none whatsoever. It's in the United Kingdom.
Wow. There is a lot of conversation in this country about where Canada sits in the line for vaccines. As you might know, we have a large portfolio of many different companies, but we are not first in the line. I don't know if you can give us an assessment of where we are in your lineup in terms of the Pfizer BioNTech production.
So I think we set a principle very early on that we were seeking fair allocations across the world. This is a global pandemic, and we plan, both Pfizer and BioNTech, to supply up to 1.3 billion doses in the next year or so, and that's globally. And Canada sits alongside every other country. Anyone who signed an advance purchase agreement with us will receive vaccines. It's just a question of writing and finishing the paperwork to allow that, which in this case, of course, with Health Canada is hopefully, fingers crossed, getting an approval.
Yes, and possibly this week is what we hear from Health Canada. Let me just ask you in terms of how you feel about things, because this is a remarkable achievement for someone who's been working in this field for a long time. Are you excited about this?
Absolutely. I mean, I think we've together with Pfizer have taken a 12 to 14 year cycle of development and done it in 10 months. And we're quite proud of that. And I think what's most reassuring for us is the results, because when we received them late on a Sunday night a few weeks ago, they surpassed all of our expectations. We were completely stunned. 95% efficacy as defined by do you get symptoms or not of COVID-19 on the vaccine is in our view a startling result, and we were stunned with it. And so I think that's really been something that we are extremely proud of, and with a good tolerability profile. I mean, most people experience mild to moderate symptoms, the classic ones that you see with any vaccination, which is of course tiredness and perhaps a headache.
All right. Well, Sean Marett, we look forward to getting some of it in this country, as you can well imagine. Thank you so much Thank you so much for making the time for Canada today. Appreciate it.